All the necessary preparations are made. My part in the experiment is complete. I have created by my method a perfect human brain, already living but dormant. Everything is now ready for you and me to begin our supreme collaboration.
No. Don't tell me of it. I don't want to hear. I've changed my mind. I won't do it.
I expected this. I thought we might need another assistant.
Thank you. Thank you for that big hand. You know, the last time that someone gave me that big of a hand, folks, was when these guys cut it off a corpse and sewed it onto my arm stub. And hey, did you see that mob out there with the pitchforks and the torches? Did you see that, Paul? I didn't know if they were here to kill me or if there were tryouts for a Home Depot commercial. Tryouts for a Home Depot commercial. Now, some people ask me why I think Dr. Frankenstein should make me a bride. Did you know that, Paul? Did you know that? Well, come on, Dr. Frankenstein. Have a heart. You'll need something to pump blood through that reanimated corpse. Sit down, Dr. Frankenstein. It's not time for my standing O yet. Boy, I don't mean to complain, but this Dr. Frankenstein, he sucks. You know how much he sucks? He sucks more than Count Dracula. Did you know his latest excuse for not making me a bride? He says he can't get the parts until the U.S. ends its trade war with China. The tariffs are too high. Boy, I'd glut him with the maw of death if I hadn't just picked up this suit from House of Bisson. House of Bisson is a high-end store on Rodeo Drive. Did you know that, Paul?
Well,
Did you know? House of Bisson. Well, we've got a really great show tonight for you folks. I think you'd agree with that. Right, Paul? MC Hammer will be here. Hammer time. And can't touch this. And speaking of Kant, or Immanuel Kant, we're going to do stupid Immanuel Kant lectures tonight, where I explain to Dr. Frankenstein why, according to Kantian ethics, it would be very wrong of him not to create a bride for me. So, all that and more when we come back. You see, Dr. Frankenstein promised to build a bride for his creature. Kant's main idea to be moral requires a kind of moral consistency. Kant offers what he calls the categorical imperative, an exceptionless command that everyone ought to follow at all times if they're trying to be moral. We will look at two of the command's formulations. The universal law formulation says only do things that you can sensibly want or will everyone to do. If you wouldn't want your loved one to cheat on you, then it's wrong for you to do it to them. The humanity is end formulation says only act in ways that respect the fact that others also have goals they wish to set and seek. In other words, don't use other people as a mere means to get what you want. It is okay for Wendy's restaurant to hire someone and pay them, so long as they respect their employees have their own lives. But it would be wrong for them to enslave people and force them to work at Wendy's against their will. Here's a little snippet quotation from Kant. Let the question be, for example, may I, when hard-pressed, make a promise with the intention to not keep it? I soon become aware that I could indeed will the lie, but by no means a universal law to lie, for in accordance with such a law, there would probably be no promises at all. You see, if you were whisked away to the planet where everyone lies every time they need to get out of any trouble, no one would take promise making seriously, so the institution of promise making would collapse. Now, the problem for Dr. Frankenstein is that both formulations show it is morally inconsistent to make the creature a promise and then break it. It is wrong by the universal law formulation because Dr. Frankenstein would not want other people to make him promises and break them. It is wrong by the humanity as ends formulation because breaking promises treats other people as if they aren't important, as if the goals they wish to set and seek for themselves don't matter. The creature has its own goals and plans based on Dr. Frankenstein keeping his word. If the promise is broken, Dr. F fails to respect the creature as one who sets and seeks his own goals in life. Kant took the command not to lie to others very seriously. As you can see here, Kant thought it would even be wrong to lie to an axe murderer to save your best friend. Why? Because you should never do what you would not want everyone else to do, and you should never use someone as a mere means to an end, but lying to the axe murderer violates both formulations because you wouldn't want everyone to lie constantly, and you would be using the axe murderer as a mere means to save your friend's life. In summary, Dr. Frankenstein has promised to make the creature a bride, but it is always wrong to break promises by the categorical imperative. Therefore, Dr. Frankenstein has a moral duty to create a bride for the creature. Note, Dr. F's failure to consider that the bride too will want to set and seek her own ends is important to the plot of the movie, but I don't want to do any spoilers here. Thank you. Well, I just flew here from the United States, and boy are the arms that were severed off a corpse and sewn onto me tired. You know, I gotta tell you, that airport was really crowded coming into Ingolstadt. The plane was so crowded I gave a little old lady my seat. Well, actually, she gave me her seat when these guys cut it off her corpse and sewed it onto my hip bone.
And now a word from the ghost of Immanuel Kant. All that matters is the categorical imperative, not the consequences. It is true, Kant does not believe you should consider what will create the greatest happiness when making moral decisions. For Kant, morality is about being consistent in treating others the way you want to be treated, and not using people in a bad way to get what you want.
Thank you. Well, I just flew here from the United States.